Yes, we are finally live. Hi guys, welcome to A to Z United. This is Anand here and I'm joined by Ankit. Ankit, it's good to see you, brother, and thank you for joining in. It's been 2 years since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken over Manchester United from Jose Mourinho. And this has been a very productive 2 years, as we can see right now. Manchester United, of course, finished third last season, but we also made three semi-final appearances as well. What Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs now is a trophy to win. And what better way to start it against tomorrow's opposition in Manchester City, as we are going to be playing in the EFL Cup semi-final as well. A lot of questions to be answered. Will Manchester United break the the semi-final jinx, and can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer make one over Pep Guardiola's side as well, and make a name as well? And this is a pretty big opportunity since this is a game at Old Trafford. So I am actually pretty much excited about this. I'm also excited as we got a very good news this morning when Southampton defeated Liverpool. So we potentially have the chance to officially go top of the league table when we defeat Burnley and actually, bridge some gap between us and the chasing pack as well. And who knows what might happen on January 17th. That's a long way to go, and we'll definitely have a lot of content before that happens as well. But Ankit, tomorrow is a pretty big game against Manchester City. A game, if we win, we are actually breaking the semi-final jinx, and this is also going to be a big statement and a chance to win our first silverware as well. And United are actually pretty much in a very good form. They are the most informed team in the Premier League. Our performances might not be up to the par, but our results definitely are. And after our exit in the Champions League, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done an excellent job in turning this season around, and he has also had an excellent and an amazing winter period as well. So, Ankit, brother, I'm pretty much excited about tomorrow night's match. But what are your expectations for tomorrow's game, bro?
I think the morning that started today was very, very brilliant. Hearing the news that Southampton defeated Liverpool was the best start to the morning that we can all have. And in the Premier League, we are flying. We are the top place side. We are the best informed side at the moment in the Premier League. So we need to carry out this form similar ways in the EFL Cup as well and in other cup competitions as well. As you said, we had three semi-finals last year, but we were not able to reach any of the finals. Maybe Europa League or maybe the FA Cup. But then again, I think this is opportunity for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to break that barrier, to break that mental barrier and go one step ahead and get this team winning trophies. So the last thing that we want to see this team is winning trophies and back to the best again. Uh, and yes, tomorrow's game is going to be quite difficult. We are facing our noisy neighbors in Man City. They have had a very not a good start to the season, I can say. They're very reluctant to go forward, and they have had issues in terms of COVID breaches of their players, and they have a very few players. They have players not available, like Walker, maybe and Edison. I think Ferran Torres is not there, so their key players are not available for tomorrow's game. And I think it is an very good opportunity for United to do one
Vare,
against
vare, call
Pep
lerken.
Guardiola again, and maybe we can reach the finals and get this trophy, at least the EFL Cup for this season. I think that will be a kickstart ahead for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign at Manchester United.
Yes, Ankit. And you mentioned a very good point about key players being missing for Manchester City. And we could see the playing 11 that played against a very crucial game against Chelsea as far as City was concerned. And they still got a point. Pep Guardiola was also pretty pragmatic in that particular match. And this is the second time in this season that United are going to be playing City, at Old Trafford. And the first game was, of course, a nil-nil draw. Both the teams had done their homework. They both had a very good defensive performances. How do you think is Manchester City going to approach this particular game?
I think this being a cup competition and knockout game, I think even if we have a draw at the end of 90 minutes, we are going into penalties. So both of the managers would like to win it before the final whistle is blown actually. And in terms of Pep Guardiola's system, I think we know how Man City have been lined up for the last couple of years, and though they do not have the key players available, but they still look a very very strong and a decent side. They can field out two decent starting 11s in any game against any opponent. So even if they have the key players out for this match, but their bench and as well as the starting 11 is quite good. So the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling, Bernardo Silva, then they have Rodri and Ruben Diaz, who has come in as a centre back, I think has performed really, really well for Manchester City this season. And with John Stones, they have had a good run of games where they have kept clean sheets. So it's going to be a very difficult game, especially in terms of attacking. I think both the teams should try to negate each other's attacking threats, and we might see a similar game to what we saw at Old Trafford a couple of weeks back. So, but just considering, I think this is a cup competition, a knockout game. Both the managers will like to go for the kill, and then maybe we'll see some flair and some loopholes in both the sides. So expecting an end-to-end game, but then again, depends upon what style or what formation both the managers want to go with tomorrow's game.
Yes, Ankit. And obviously, there are a lot of positives for Manchester United. United currently had an amazing December period where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took maximum points. He basically just drew against Leicester City, and after winning the remaining games, we currently sit joint top of the league table. So definitely, United are in good form. And the second positive point, as far as this match is concerned, is this game is being played at Old Trafford, and United have started to pick up points and wins at Old Trafford as well. And
Yeah.
of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done an excellent job in maintaining the fitness of the squad as well. He has done an amazing job in rotating key players for crucial games, and he has also got result against bigger teams as well. So he could basically break down Wolves and Aston Villa and get these crucial wins as well. So Ankit, obviously one of the negative is that Edinson Cavani would be missing this game because of his three-game ban by the FA. So that is one of the negative. And speaking of key players and formation, Ankit, how do you expect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to line up, against Manchester City in the semi-final clash?
Yeah, as we know that Edinson Cavani will not be available for this game, but the rest of our squad is fully fit and ready for this game. I think 4-2-3-1 is the preferred formation that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will go with. I think maybe Dean Henderson can come in place of De Gea, as we haven't played Henderson in this festive period at all. And I think Henderson deserves a start, so I think he comes in place of De Gea for this match. But considering that this is a semi-final, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might prefer going with his number one goalkeeper in De Gea. So uh, either of ways, I think I'm happy with seeing any of the goalkeepers in between the sticks. But preferably, I'll go with Henderson for this match. And then again, the back four I think remains the same. Uh, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't need to make a change in the centre back pairing partnership of Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly. I think they have performed exceptionally well in this festive period in the run of games that they have. And Eric Bailly, who has been really immense after getting an start in this United squad or the starting 11. I think he has replaced Lindelof quite well, and I think he should continue with the centre back partnership of Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly, and then Luke Shaw with Aaron Van Bissaka as our fullbacks, and Fred and McTominay. I think they should start as a holding midfielder partnership, because whenever they have started games, I think we have looked solid, and we have won more games when McFred have started as a midfield partnership. And then again, now it depends upon he wants to use that width, or he plays with the diamond system. But for me, I think if Paul Pogba, the way he played against Wolves and Aston Villa, if he plays a similar kind of game, then I think he's again going to be a crucial member in this United squad. So I'll go with the same diamond formation that he went against Villa, with Fred McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, and Pogba. And then I think Rashford and Marshall as the strikers up front.
Yes, Ankit. Even I also feel the same that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to go with a very strong formation because this is a wonderful chance for us. It's basically a semi-final game. So if we just need two more games to win, two crucial games to win to get our first title in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So he's going to take this opportunity and field a pretty strong 11. And as you also mentioned, that our next few games are basically going to come against Watford and Burnley. So he would
Hmm.
basically probably rotate some key players. He'll basically sit back some key players and then start the peripheral player, the players who are basically in peripheral against Watford as well. So yes, I also feel the same that he's going to go with a strong defensive lineup. He's going to go with a pretty strong midfield as well, and he's going to use all his key attackers since even Edinson Cavani is also missing. So Ankit,
For me, I think
yeah,
if he prioritize any of the games, I think tomorrow's game he will prioritize because he desperately needs a trophy under his belt, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will prioritize this game as compared to the Watford or the Burnley game. So tomorrow, I think he will start the best or the strong possible 11 that he can field against Man City, and for that, I think Pogba and Bruno Fernandes should play as the attacking midfield partnership. And then against Watford, I think we can play the fringe players. Watford haven't been great. They are playing in the championship, and that is the reason I think we can play our fringe players. We can get give game time to players like Lingard, Donny van de Beek, Tuanzebe. If Lindelof is fit, then he comes in. Then Matic is there, so I think we have a really really good bench as well, and we can play that bench against Watford as compared to the other games that are coming up for United. So
mhm.
I think a strong starting 11 tomorrow is quite expected.
Yes, Ankit. And what are your score predictions for tomorrow
That
night's
is going
game?
to be very tricky. Uh, but then I think it just because it is at home, I think we are going to see a bit of a closely contested game, a similar game that we played against Man City in the EFL Cup semi-final when Jose Mourinho won it for us, where Juan Mata's goal was the decisive goal in between the two sides, and I think I expect a similar kind of a game over here. I think 1-0 to United will be a fair result if we go through to the next to the final of the EFL Cup.
Yes, Ankit.
What
That would
What
also
do you
be
think what do you
yes.
think United will win tomorrow, or do you see a landslide and again the jinx of not getting to a final will carry on?
So the jinx is actually a pretty big jinx. Of course, the players know that, so it's pretty much ingrained within them. So they would be working hard enough to basically get through this particular blip that we are having, for this regarding semi-final as well. But as far as the result is concerned, I also feel that this is going to be a really closely fought game, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to be as naive as Frank Lampard, who basically, whose defensive line basically collapsed against Manchester City. So I feel that this is going to be a really closely contested game, the one which the game that we had a few months ago at Old Trafford. So I also feel that if anyone is going to take a result, it's going to be a 1-0 game. And and I'm pretty optimistic about United doing that. So yes, I'm also going to say United 1-0 Manchester City. So yes, guys, basically a big game to come against Manchester City, and a lot of questions to be asked and a lot of questions to be answered as well. Can United break the jinx? Can United do one over Guardiola? Can United finally stamp the authority and say that they are the ones coming into power and there's a power shift at Manchester itself, the city of Manchester, as well as England as well. So tomorrow's game is going to answer and potentially, maybe even provide a pretty small glimpse as well as to what's going to come in the near future.
And considering the injury, considering the players that are unavailable for City tomorrow, I think this is again United's best opportunity to get one over City and Pep, and then qualify for the final stages of the EFL Cup because we know that how many players are missing for City. So United have a golden opportunity tomorrow.
Yes, Ankit, absolutely. So let's see basically what happens in tomorrow night's game at Old Trafford. And we'll be getting more of the reaction and a lot of other updates as well from Old Old Trafford. And please do stay tuned to our channel and visit our channel for more updates on United, all the A to Z updates, and